My name is Merrick Chernett. I'm from Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, and I'm a freshman studying at the Ross School of Business. And I'm also the youngest person in the world to run 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents. The Great World Race is a challenge. 60 runners, male and female of all ages, who go out and in 1 week run 7 marathons on 7 continents. So we started out in White Desert, Antarctica. From there, we went to Cape Town, South Africa. Then we made our way to Perth, Australia. Then we did Istanbul on the European side. And then the next morning, we ran on the Asian side. Then we made our way to Cartagena, Colombia. And then we finished in South Beach, Miami. Going into the first marathon, I had 0 sleep.
4, 3, 2, 1, go!
In Antarctica, I struggled, and so did a lot of other runners, with frostbite. It was a little tricky because part of the loop, the sun wasn't on you, and the temperature would drop dramatically to like negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit on the windshield.
The sweat is freezing on my face. It's getting really cold.
And then when the sun hits you, it would go up to like 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So what would happen is you would sweat in the sun, and then that sweat would freeze on your face when it went off of you.
My feet feel like they're broken. Everything hurts, but I'm pushing through.
And then I believe by my 3rd marathon, I got checked out and had 3 stress fractures in my left foot. Never had to push through pain of any sort like that. And that also just taught me an important life lesson that when you put your mind to something, no matter the pain, the fatigue, whatever's going on, you really can push through it. In Istanbul on the Asian side, it's our 5th marathon, and I get to the start of the race and I actually felt pretty good. And as I walk up to the finish line and they yell for us to start, that first step, I've never felt such pain before. My feet just were not working. I could barely even walk. I was hobbling. And we had 6 laps to do to complete the marathon. And after my 2nd lap, I was on pace for a 7-hour marathon. By far my slowest one. I was getting lapped. And I just kind of looked at myself. I was like, what am I doing here? And then a trainer actually said to me, he saw I was in some pain, and he was like, what's going on? Do you need a timeout? And something about when he just said, do you need a timeout, triggered something in my head, and I just started running. And I fought through the pain. Eventually it actually went away, and I ended up finishing the marathon in 4 hours and 25 minutes. My biggest takeaway from the race wasn't actually from the race itself, but was mostly from learning from other people. When you put it in perspective, doing the race at 18 really wasn't that bad. You had a guy who was given a 0.0901% chance to live when he was younger. You had a guy who's the only person to ever climb Mount Everest with cancer. So you had 2 guys with 1 lung. You had a guy with terminal brain cancer do the race. So when I was running the race and I was struggling and I had these runners by my side, it really just showed me it's not that bad. And it put my life into perspective. Going into the race, there was 2 things I wanted to do. 1 was finish the race, and 2 was just leave everything out there. And my saying was empty the tank. So on those last couple laps in Miami, I left everything out there. And when I crossed that line, I fell to the ground. I was emotional, I was crying. My family came around and was hugging me. And just the feeling going through my head was, I did it. I was so happy to be done. It's definitely really shaped the way I look at life in an academic perspective and as a student in Ross. Anytime I'm struggling to do work or studying for a test, it's in perspective now, it's really nothing. I put it in comparison with the race and some of the longer runs I've done and realize it's really not that bad. So it's allowed me to kind of just be a better student in the sense that I'm not afraid to study and put the hours in. From a learning perspective, the professors at Michigan, like Kathy Shakespeare specifically, has been such an amazing mentor to me, and I've learned so much more than I ever have anywhere else in my life. 4 years from now, my dream is to go into investment banking. Being able to become an investment banker is something that's only become possible because of the resources and the connections and the people here at Michigan. As I mentioned, I'm in 2 clubs, the Global Investment Committee and Tamid, and those 2 clubs have taught me the skills necessary to recruit for that job, and it's really just helped narrow down my path, allow for me to understand what I want to go into.
Hello.